We are live. I see the notification.
The light's blinking up here, or maybe it's over here. I think we're good to go.
This is gonna be a great video.
Oh, and insert witty banter.
Banter.
I'm getting on Facebook here to make sure that we're live because I don't know if Ryan really did it.
That's right.
So is this your teaching? Are you talking to us from your teaching spot today?
I am. I'm actually at school today. The students are not here. Their last day was last Thursday, and now they're on their break. So I'm here with just one of my assistants and one of my assistant students who's helping with this today. So it's quiet.
Is the camera that we're looking at you? Are you hooking into the overhead camera at all, or is it going to be all straight on?
I have a secondary camera that's a video camera that we're going to switch to when I do the demonstration. But I don't have the overhead on. I do have that overhead camera that's in my ceiling. So when I'm giving a lesson like disassembly or something like that I don't have to use my bench motor, I have my instrument on my bench, and then it gets sent out to all of their camera or all of their computer screens, which is super cool.
Oh yeah. I love that about Ren. I love the technology. Hey Rich, can we start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Great. Well, let's start, Jessica. I want to just take a second and introduce you. You know, I know you're going to talk about Renton, and we're all excited to hear that, and we love Renton. But before if I forget something, let me know. But let me just kind of. So Jessica started a career as a music educator. So, and that was you played saxophone and you got your music education degree. Mm-hmm. And then went on to teach band went on to teach as a band director for 11 years. So you had an accomplished career as a band director and could have kept going with that, but instead sort of made a change and decided to go to Renton and got your degree from Renton. And then after you left Renton, after Jessica left Renton, she went to Washington and New York and taught for a while and got her chops up and repaired for a while and got her chops up as a repairer. So what I've always noticed about you, Jessica, that's so awesome is that you really have strong chops as a repairer and you have this strong chops as a teacher. And then now we're all so lucky to have you at Renton and you've put it all together. And now you're doing this thing where you're teaching people to repair. It's like you were made for this job. It was just, you just had to go through you have so much skill in what you're doing. It's great to see you come from both sides and be teaching. And I know that the students are really happy to have you there. And I love to come and visit Renton. I go to Renton every year. And I think officially that's where we really met was on my trip to Renton. And if I can I know you're going to talk about Renton, but I just want to tell the people out there, like, I go to Renton every year and it's such an amazing facility. It's from the desk that Jessica's sitting on, she can work with all the students and she has cameras to help her and that they have the technology to get everyone what they need. But beyond that, there is a really great vibe at Renton. And I know that vibe comes from you, Jessica, and I know that you're promoting a sharing and sort of caring environment there. But I also know that town is super cool. So like anyone that wants to consider going to a repair school, if you think about Renton, realize that you're just right outside of Seattle. You're only 10 minutes or something from Seattle. So you have the gigging opportunities, all of the life that we all know that Seattle has, and which to me is kind of a granola, crunchy kind of area. I really love being in Seattle. So I always go early and stay longer when I go to Renton because it's just such a cool place to hang out. So if you're thinking about a repair school, Jessica Ganska is the teacher at Renton, and Renton is located just right outside of Seattle in Washington. So without further ado, Jessica, I'm going to turn this over to you and and you're going to tell us some stuff about renting first, I guess, and then we're going to talk about pad slicks.
Yeah. Thanks, Kurt,
Cool.
for that introduction. And I want to thank you guys for having me on so I could talk about the school. And thanks for doing these Wednesday Wisdoms too. It's so great that we have you guys to help not only with, because when Kurt comes out, he spends time with the students, which is really great, so they can get different perspectives on the field besides just mine. And I love that because you're one of those people that, you know, innovates new tools in our field, and that's such a great thing. But doing these Wednesday Wisdoms too during this time this year, it's really great to help with our industry. So I want to say thanks to all you guys for putting this together and being you guys and innovating and coming up with new things to make our jobs easier. So
Thank
okay,
you.
let me just give everybody a little taste of Renton. I'm gonna screen share. I have a little video just of the room so you can kind of get an idea of the facility here. Okay, so you should all be able to see that. And I'm going to talk over it while it's going. So this is our main lab, and I have room to take 22 students. This year, I don't have quite as many, and in the video right now, some of them we're not all in this room. With the benches, there's a computer at each bench that gets onto the internet, but also is connected to a camera that's in the ceiling above my bench. So right now you can see, well, if I pause that video, you can see, sorry if I made anybody sick. You can see right off here that I have my clarinet on their computer screen right now. So it's really effective when we're going over things that I can show over the camera because I don't have to have everybody huddled around me. At the same time too, after I teach something, I'm constantly wandering around the room helping students with the hands-on portion of everything. When we go in the dent room, which that comes up later in the video, I'm right there with the students. So but that's just to give you an idea. That's the main room. This is our dent room. So we have everything kind of organized, and I have a couple students in there that were working on trumpet bells. So
Nice.
just have that room dedicated for dent room. This is our machining room. So everybody learns how to use a lathe. And these mini lathes here in the back, they're actually all brand new. Over the last 2 years have been fortunate enough with some grants to be able to replace them all. So that's been super convenient.
Nice.
Great facility.
Yeah, so, oh, this is replaying. I didn't take a video of everything else. I have a buffing room, a woodworking room, a small parts room, and a big boneyard. But can't get camera angles in there all that well. But
What is, Jessica, what is that giant in your machine room at when you pan over there, the giant, it looks like half of a Christmas ornament on the floor,
oh,
but it's like a couple of feet wide. Sorry, it's kind of crazy looking. Haven't seen it. Yeah, in the machine room. Keep going, keep going. That thing right there.
oh, that's a timpani that's upside down.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron. Aaron's like sorry. Should have known.
Yeah, those buggers are really hard to, I'm just running out of space for all the stuff that I have. So I tried not to get that in the video, but to kind of give you can see like there's my trombone bell storage at the top of that screen. But yeah, I have a couple of timpani that were donated from one of the area schools that are in not so great condition, but it's great to be able to show the students, hey, here's just some minor things with timpani repair. So yeah, that's an upside down timpani.
Thank you. Sorry, Aaron Moss. He's like the percussion guy. Just he's yelling at me.
I was pretty
Sorry,
sure you
Jessica.
were about the Bigfoot Rich behind Jessica, but I thought that's what you were talking about. But you see, there is a Bigfoot there behind you.
Oh One of my students drew that. That is our the state mascot.
Oh.
Might be the unofficial mascot, the sense in the state. But yeah,
Cool.
one of the students drew that. I just didn't have the heart to erase it. Okay, I'm gonna switch my camera. Today I just wanted to share with you how I use the circle pad slicks from musicmedic. I've used these when I started repairing. We had to make a version of these when I was in repair school, but they didn't have the circle in them. And then I found these when I was repairing, I think at Canelli Keys, but then I used them a lot at Twin Village Music. So what I really like about them, I don't use them to tilt pads or anything. I use them when I'm installing pads. Before I I'll just show you how I use them. So this is my low C key. I have, this is the instrument that all the students learn on. It's a Yamaha 23 alto saxophone, pretty standard. So I installed this pad. I used clear shellac, if anybody wants to know. Put a nice bed of it on the underside of the pad. I think everybody has seen this a million times, so I didn't feel like I needed to show it. I flipped it over on my steel block after I put glue on it. So it flattened out the bed of glue, and now I'm at this point, I heated up the key cup, installed the pad. I have the right size pad. I checked the key cup to make sure the key cup was level, checked the tone hole, made sure the tone hole was level. Key orientation is good. So I took out all those factors. So now I just have to deal with installing a brand new pad. Okay, and I'm going to turn on my leak light. Oh, there it is. Hook up the spring. Screw that in. There we go. So at this point, I can check a little bit and go, okay, where am I with the level of the pad? Not really close at all, but first time in, you get the idea. Okay, so
it's hitting on the front and leaking on the back now?
yeah. I don't really honestly, before I even do anything else, I don't even really check the first time I put the pad in because I use this first. What I love about this is I put this in and it matches the tone hole. And then I'm going to heat my key cup up.
Nice air torch there.
I love my air torch.
Product placement. Coca-Cola's got her drinking a Coca-Cola later in the video.
When I was in repair school, I used to burn things a lot. And I bought this for myself when I was over the holidays in repair school. So I've never looked back. Okay, so I heat this up so I know that the glue is liquid. I have the pad slick that best fits underneath. And then with my canvas hammer, you could use a wooden dowel that's got a cut to kind of match that key arm. I'm pressing this down with a little bit of pressure, and I can twist that back and forth. I want to make sure that I don't want to squeeze too hard because I'm not trying to bend this at all, but this matches the tone hole and it keeps the pad from getting a pad seat before I've gotten it really close. But it's one more step that helps even out the bed of glue that's underneath the pad in between the key cup and the pad. So then this would be the point. Get in there. And I can check all the way around. That's a lot closer in the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock area. But when I bring it around here in the back, I still have a leak back there by the guard foot. So what I really like about the pad slicks is this does like 80% of the work. If the glue for some whatever reason wasn't real level, that bed of glue wasn't real level when I started, when I heat this up and give it a little pressure, it forces the glue to even itself out on the inside. And then this last part here where it's leaking in the 11 o'clock region, I can go in, I can heat that spot up. I can use one of the other pad slicks to kind of pull that down where I need to. So, I mean, and I think everybody's kind of familiar with doing that kind of thing. But yeah, you guys get the point.
Well, now, Jessica, I saw some blue-handled pad slicks. How do you like using those? Can you show the guys how you use those too?
I have to be honest, I have not used these as much, but same thing. And you can get in here too, and instead of tilting the pad down by the side of the pad, you can get in here and you can get right underneath the resonator also. I know some people like to pull down at the resonator, so this side here was leaking, and that helps bring that down. Although it's not down all the way. Come on there, buddy.
Can I ask you a question, Jessica? That when I watched you use the pad slick, you know, you did something. I'm usually like tapping the pad closed, and what you did is you put it in there and you gave it a twist. Now, I guess when I'm tapping the pad closed, I'm not using the pad slick. Is that what? What do you think the difference is there? Like, do you think that's by twisting it, it's moving the glue around faster, or?
I think the difference there, I think the twisting motion, if you can get the pad to move, but it doesn't necessarily need to. I like using the pad slick because it gives it more of a spread out surface.
Yeah.
So here, so this is the pad in the key cup. And when you're pressing down on this and the glue is here, it kind of gives the glue more of a surface, and I don't have to worry about accidentally installing like a premature pad seat if I'm tapping or if I'm doing this without the pad slick.
Yeah.
So I think it gives more of a surface area to press against on the inside, so the glue spreads out a little bit more.
And I think also, so my other question was that I think people might want to know is how do you know when the glue is liquid? And I wonder if you didn't answer that. So when you're heating it up, you're kind of wiggling until you feel it move? Yeah,
exactly. And there are times when I'm heating it up that I will count in my head. So I can tell by how many, this is a really kind of esoteric kind of thing, but I just count in my own speed. And if I get to 8, and I know that that's how long it takes for this key cup, because I've done this key so many times. Right. So after a while, after you've been padding a bunch, you can kind of figure out how long you need to hold the air torch so the key cup is hot enough so the glue is liquid so it moves. Yep. Get it. That's cool. I really like that. Usually the answer to how do you know when the glue is liquid is like some kind of Yoda Jedi, like, well, after enough time, you will just feel it. But and your method actually allows you to feel it, I imagine, as soon as the glue gets liquid, right? It just wiggles right around. Yeah. That's cool. It's hard to tell beginning repair students, well, you'll just figure it out. That's a hard thing to tell them because they've never done it before. So if you can give them some kind of benchmark to shoot for, and then after they've done it a bunch of times and they experiment with other things, they can find what works for them. But it's hard to say at the very beginning, well, you'll know, or you'll figure it out. So I do have one other thing to show you guys with what I do with the pad slicks. And it's a little bit different, but same kind of thing. So so the F key here. Sometimes you run into this where the F key hits really hard. Any of the right-hand stack keys, they hit really hard in the back. And you've looked at it and you've made sure that nothing's bent. The keys are in the, the key arms are correct. The orientation is good. The key cups don't look like Pringle chips. The tone holes don't look like roller coasters. And I can say safely that I know we have leveled all these tone holes and checked all these key cups. So, but maybe that first time you go to put a pad in, it hits really hard in the back at the key arm. Or you're out in the field and you got a rental that comes back and it hits really hard in the back. For some reason, and this is not something I start with repair students, but this is what I have kind of figured out with the pad slicks is you find the right pad slick that covers the surface of the pad. So I have my pad slicks marked. This is the one I use the most because it's super great for the low E flat key. And this fits. This is an extra pad that I had just in case for the F pad. So that's the right size here. Put that in between. And then I'm going to heat up the key. And I kind of use the air torch to hold down the key. But I can also use my wooden dowel. Put that off to the side. So I'm just going to heat up the key so I know that the glue is liquid. And then the same kind of thing, putting some pressure on that. I'm going to wiggle. I'm not tilting this, I'm just moving it. And then let's check. This is where hot things are hot. So I have a guitar pick that I use.
Oh, nice trick.
And well, it lifted up the back a whole lot. Now I just have to tilt the back down. But hitting pretty good in the front. Sorry, guys. I took the regulation out there, so don't pay attention to the F sharp key, but we get the point here. In the back here, or excuse me, in the front, 6 o'clock, we're pretty good. It's not leaking. We go in the back. Well, the back is now up, but it's close. So this is where, and the key cup's still hot, I can get in here with my pad slick and tilt that pad. Do any of my adjusting to get that pad level. There we go. Oh, I see a little leak. As best I can on the camera. Oh, wait, there we are. So ask me questions. What do you think?
I think this is great. I think using the pad slick is a question that a lot of people come to us with, and a lot of people are using the pad slick for, or they want to use it like a not the pads, yeah, the what's the tool called with the hole in the middle, you know, they want to use this, the pad rings, they want to use that as a pad slick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the natural tendency is to want to like tilt it side to side, and I think that what you just showed us is exact. That I think is the way that it's intended. I personally really like the idea of wiggling it side to side, especially when the pad is new and being able to feel that glue in there. That's cool. And yeah, and lifting up the back of a pad. I think that's awesome. That's a really great demonstration and really clear. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is one thing I would like to say is this isn't a tool that I would use. This is a tool if I'm installing a brand new pad that I will get out and I will use it just at that very beginning. And after that, what I just did with the low C key, I won't get this back out and try and use it to tilt or try and get it to pull down on one side or whatever, because I think you'll end up bending this, and then the tool isn't. This should be pretty flat. It doesn't need to be precision flat because it needs to match the tone hole, and then be that bumper for when you put the pad down on it to help stabilize the glue or level out the glue inside the cup. But I get that some people would look at this and go, okay, well, I can use this, and maybe if I tilt it, then I can get the 3 o'clock side of the pad to come up. But I think people run into trouble with that because these aren't built to do that.
Right. The rings are just to get you close in the beginning.
Yeah. I only really use this when I'm doing like brand new pads. I don't use it. It's not when I'm trying to adjust pad level, I'm using one of the pad slicks and that kind of thing. And I have like the one that I use for the palm keys marked because this one gets a lot of play. And then the rest of them live together on my bench. And I have a bunch of sets of these for the students to try out. So, but I'm a big fan of these. I really like them. Great.
Thank you, Jessica. That was great. That was a perfect demonstration and really clear. And thank you. I think we should wrap it up there. And let me just say that once again that I'm really happy to know you, and I know that everyone is feels better that you're at Renton. And I don't mean, and Dan is watching. I don't mean better now that you're there. Hi, Dan. I mean, everyone feels great that Renton is in such good hands, and all of your experience, and your kindness and thoughtfulness, it all comes through so well in your students, and way to go, Renton, and keep it up, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. So Rich and Ryan, thanks for being here, and all of you out there in the world, thanks for coming, and thanks for checking out another Wednesday Wisdom, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you guys.
All righty.
All right. See you
Thank you,
later.
everybody.
Awkward waving, everybody. Rich,
Waving.
you gotta wave.